sun's off, and I'm trying to see. I see Brad.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday, the May 19th Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Will you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up on our agenda is we have a proclamation that we would like to read about Emergency Medical Services Week, and we'll start out with you, Tracy.
Well, I want to welcome first some of our guests from a few of the area fire departments. We have representatives from Purdue Fire, Audubon Fire. I believe we also have someone from West Point, and I saw Gary Cheeseman raise his hand in the back of the room there, and also Clarksville Laramie Township. So thank you for joining us. This is National EMS Week. Is May 18th through the 24th of 2025. So this is our proclamation for EMS Week. To designate the week of May 18th and 18th through the 24th, 2025 as Emergency Medical Services Week. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and
whereas emergency medical services fills healthcare gaps by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And
whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical service providers by designating the Emergency Medical Service Week now, therefore, we, the Tippecanoe County Commissioners, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 18th to 24th, 2025 as Emergency Medical Service Week, the 51st anniversary of EMS Week. Theme is ESM Week, We Care for Everyone. I encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities in honor of the EMS professionals and essentially service is provides. If all our medical personnel, if you're one of those EMSers or such, would you please stand up? We want to say thank you.
all right.
Any of you want to make a little comment or such? I know Gary's a man of few words, but
come on up, gentlemen.
Did I get nominated? You did.
there's a little button to push on the front of that.
Here?
Yep. There you go.
Does that help it?
That's good.
So I appreciate you guys in reference to EMS Week. It's something that everybody dials 911 and somebody shows up. So we have T's obviously representing for the county, and then we have the Purdue University obviously across the river, and then there's two other volunteer fire departments, Clarksville and Audubon, and of course West Point. So when things go haywire as far as lots of runs, storms, different kinds of events, then the volunteers end up coming in. I know during COVID, it was very challenging. There was a number of people transported. Obviously, you know, the hospitals had to put extra rooms in to make things happen. So I, being a volunteer for years, understand what it takes to do it. And I thank the fellow people that do the same thing. So when you're sitting at dinner with your family and the pager goes off and you go to help someone, you know, the family's used to me leaving, so sometimes I don't even show up. So, and others do it. I'm not by myself. If it wasn't for everybody else, obviously it wouldn't happen. So, once again, thank you to what you guys do, and thank you to all the first responders, period. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. And I do. Also, I didn't mention earlier, but I see John Zartman and as a representative of Tees here. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Okay, moving along then. We have a set of minutes to approve.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes from the May 5th, 2025 meeting.
Second.
Motion is second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Accounts payables.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the accounts payable vouchers from May 7th, 2025 to May 19th, 7/25 as presented.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the accounts payables. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Payroll.
Mr. President, I would move that we approve payroll from May 9th, 2025.
Second.
Motion is second to approve payroll. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Area plan, we have a variance.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you have to put anything on the floor on this one? Maybe not.
Not an ordinance.
Yeah, okay. All right, this is a unified subdivision ordinance variance request. It's connected with essentially county highway road improvement, so I'll briefly describe it and then kind of defer to county highway to button this up one way or the other. The variance request claims it's their understanding that Highway Department's currently planning or designing road reconstruction improvements along County Road 600 North, which is kind of where this subdivision is. So sometimes these variance requests are put in saying, well, why would we, put something in if you're just going to come in and redo it all later anyway? And so that's kind of the snapshot view of it. So in those sorts of situations, we defer to County Highway to decide if this improvement should happen now or if it can happen later as part of a larger project. So, so I'll stand behind whatever County Highway decides. So I'll go ahead and defer to them. And I've warned Stu that I'd be bringing them up. So if you have any questions of me, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
I think we've discussed that it's a long 120-foot lot finger. It's almost a flag to the subdivision that's under development. Two options were given: the developer flag lotted off the subdivision or frontage it off 600. The variance is for the half-width improvements, which we would waive. They're going the way of accessing its single residential lot. We're already in development of a 3-lane with a major 600 North reconstruction. There's no point in them rebuilding part of that 24-foot pavement now.
Okay. Any questions? Anyone from the audience wants to speak in favor or opposed to this variance?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the subdivision variance S 5269 Timberbrook Estates subdivision.
Second.
Voice vote? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Thank you. All right, highway. Should have just stayed up here, Stu. We have an opening and some bids.
Looks like we've got 2 bids. First one, Milestone.
This is for the Weall School Road pavement improvements.
18th Street to Concord.
The first bid is a total bid of $663,500.
And I'm sorry, that
What
was
company?
Milestone?
This is Milestone,
Okay.
and it's $663,500. The second one is Reith Riley. a total bid of $889,261.20.
Motion to take that under advisement.
Mr. President, I would move that we take those bids under advisement so they can be reviewed by Highway.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to take these bids under advisement. Once again, thank you to the two contractors that have submitted them. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Warranty deed.
This is the second and final phase of right-of-way for the 425 North between Yeager and Salisbury. Your last meeting, you accepted the western half. This is the eastern half. It's a dedication from W.W. Schroeder Land Trust, similar to the last document.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the warranty deed as mentioned.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve this warranty deed. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. A salary recommendation. This is where we make a recommendation to the council of what potentially raises would be for next year, but they have the final say. So, any suggestions?
I didn't know if Jennifer wanted to give a synopsis, kind of what she did the last meeting.
Sure. I had calculated estimates for you of 1%, 3%, 5%, which is pretty typical for any year that I would give an estimate. In total, a 1% increase would cost about $614,000. For the general fund specifically, it's about $455,000. And then we had various things, to consider as far as whether there would be a levy increase, what we could expect in an income tax increase, current cash on hand, and then the effects of SB 1. So we do know that it's going to be a tight budget year for next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be the tightest that we've had in a long time, especially with the impacts of Senate Bill 1 as it ramps up over the next 3 years. With that, I'd like us to consider a recommendation of a raise of 1% along with a stipend of $750 to every full-time employee and a $500 stipend for the regular part-time employees.
Okay.
That's going to be roughly a total cost of $1.2 million, which should be right about the estimate of the levy increase for
Right.
2025, or 26, I'm sorry.
Similar to a cost of 2%, but only builds 1% into the grid. That's what you're proposing?
Yes.
Okay. Discussion?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for a recommendation to the auditor to give to the council of a 1% increase in salaries with a stipend of $750 to full-time employees, a one-time stipend, and a one-time stipend of $500 to regular part-time employees. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. So our recommendation is as such. Okay, we have a resolution from the Drainage Board.
Want me to just take this one, Zach?
Sure, if you want to.
Okay, tell
I
me
was
where.
I was going to tee it up for you.
Yeah.
Just history, whichever.
Go ahead, I'm jumping.
Just real quickly, yeah. So if you remember just the history on this, about 9 years ago, the Drainage Board set this up based off of landowner requests, specifically for major ag reconstruction projects. Basically, within the Indiana Drainage Code, landowners can pay 100% within the first 12 years or do an annual payment, which costs them 10% interest annually for the 5-year reconstruction. This is a third option that was set up by the Drainage Board. Basically allows the landowners to enter into a contract with the county, and there's a 5% charge on that. So
This is some housekeeping that Doug brought to our attention, and I'll turn it over to him.
Yeah, so the Drainage Board did the heavy lifting on this, but the piece that the commissioners have to take care of is the way this was set up. The money flowed through a fund we created called the Drain Reconstruction Assistance Fund, and the funds are created or terminated by the commissioners. Experience taught us that just money coming in and out of the general drain improvement fund without it going through the assistance fund was more efficient, and there wasn't a lot of value added by that extra step. So the Drainage Board has modified how the procedure will work, and your approval would just terminate the Reconstruction Assistance Fund, and any money that's left in at this point goes over to the general drain fund, and then in the future, all money in and out just comes through the general drain improvement fund.
Okay. Any questions? Motion?
Mr. President, I would move that we adopt Resolution 2025-09-CM approving Drainage Board amendment of Reconstruction Financing Assistance Program.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the resolution. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sheriff Goldsmith.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I couldn't hear the Santa was going. Did you say 10%? Is that
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
Anyway, no, what I'm here today is we all know, it was said before that we wouldn't add any positions in the county. So what my team and I have discussed is a way that we can continue moving forward as an office to serve the citizens of Tippecanoe County with adding all the subdivisions and things the county's growing. And one thing that we aren't able to do as efficiently is be proactive. Now, that's a nationwide problem with law enforcement being proactive. We're always reactive. But we came up with an idea to utilize the staff that we currently have without adding a team that would go out and focus on the things that we get the most complaints about. Traffic, that's the number one thing. Everybody, I'm sure, has driven down the road and this person pulled out in front of me, they ran the stop sign, 500 south and 900 east, they run the stop, it's all over the county. I just got 2 emails about it yesterday. But anyway, a team that focuses on that. We have over 3,000 unserved warrants in a cabinet that have been there for years, but a group that can focus on those things. So the idea was, let's put a few guys and gals together and have them go out and focus on those type of things, and we need somebody to run that. So the idea was pitched to the Personnel Committee that we would, from our current positions, promote one individual to sergeant that would oversee that team. The Personnel Committee agreed to it. It's a $3,500 difference in pay, which we currently have in our budget. So there's an increase to the county somewhat with retirement and all those things, but it's minimal compared to what we're going to get in return, and that's being able to focus some resources in the areas that the citizens complain about the most.
Okay. Any questions?
Okay.
Mr. President, I would move for approval as outlined by the sheriff.
I would second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this position modification of a merit deputy up to a sergeant slash deputy, sergeant deputy. So, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
Lease agreement.
Well, I've been working with Commissioner Mert on this. This is nerve-wracking, to be honest with you. We've always came to the commissioners, you all, to purchase our fleet, and with the county needing to save money, we sat down with Enterprise, with Commissioner Mert. We've had 4 meetings now to discuss, is this something that would work for the sheriff's office? When we first listened to him in this very room, I thought there's no way this isn't going to work. Too many variables, but after several meetings with him, it appears as though it is a good move for Tippecanoe County as a whole and would save several hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years. It would also take a lot of the work off of a captain's position so they can focus on other things. But I think it's a move in the right direction, given we've all talked about Senate Bill 1. We're just trying to do our part at the sheriff's office to help the county save some money, and vehicles is a big way to do that. Still makes me nervous, but it's a change, I believe, that's for the positive. And Commissioner Murtaugh's been sitting at the table with us as we work through this, so.
So, yeah, as county-wide, we've had an agreement, obviously, with Enterprise for all the county vehicles, with the exception of the Sheriff's Department and the Highway Department. And that is going fairly well. We're in the process of transitioning the traditional county-owned vehicles into the Enterprise lease program, and it's like I mentioned, it's working really well. What I like most about it is the ease of budgeting.
Yes.
Because as Councilmember Vernon can attest, and we've seen some huge ups and downs in budgeting for sheriff's vehicles in the last few years, and we know budgeting is going to get much, much worse.
Yes.
This way, we will have a dedicated plan on how much we need to budget for vehicles, and we'll get to routinely have those vehicles swapped out for new vehicles. So as they get as the miles increase, so it's just a new concept. But as the sheriff mentioned, he might be nervous, but the good thing is there's no commitment to staying into the
Right.
program. So.
And it allows Enterprise to manage this for us. You got cops managing fleets, and we all like new stuff and toys. But it puts a lot of those decisions in the hands of Enterprise, which when they tell us, hey, you need a new vehicle, or I say, hey, we need 10, then we get closer to the budget and we're like, oh, I was wrong, we need 14. This has a company that does this. Whereas we have a captain that gives a little bit of attention to that, and then he's over here doing this, and then he's doing this. Got a company focus on it so the numbers are exact. And their number was a lot higher than the one I thought.
I will make a motion that we approve the master lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management for the Sheriff's Department based on final legal approval.
Second.
Okay, motion is second to approve this lease agreement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, a temporary right of entry agreement. You want to talk about it a little bit, Doug, or?
It's pretty simple. The 6th Street Coroner's Office is adjacent to the old YWCA, City of God Church. They're doing renovations. This agreement lets them use, I forget, was it 4 or 6 parking spaces over there? 4, just to access their site, and it, requires them to have insurance and pay us if things go wrong and that sort of thing.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve this.
Second?
Okay, motion is second to approve this right of entry agreement, and this is with the City of God Church, Inc. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Grants, Sharon, looks like you got a couple of them.
Good morning. The WIC would like to ask permission to apply for the 2026 fiscal year from the Indiana Department of Health to cover the annual expenditures and salaries for their department.
So moved.
Second? Just a quick question on that. That is one department I've not heard anything about. Is their funding secure?
They're hoping.
So, there weren't cuts within that budget?
Alicia hasn't said anything about that.
Okay.
She's working on the budget now to be submitted to the state for approval, so they'll find out hopefully next month.
Okay.
Okay, motion is second to grant permission to apply as presented for WIC. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. And the sheriff.
And the sheriff would like to apply for the 2025-26 ICAC, which is Internet Crimes Against Children, their task force program to grant and combat technology-facilitated crimes against children.
So moved.
Second?
Motion is second to grant permission to apply for the sheriff as stated. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
All right, any unfinished business before the members?
No, sir.
Okay, reports on file. We have Central Mail and Duplicating, Clerk of the Circuit Court, the Coroner's Office, Tippecanoe County Public Library, Treasurer, Wabash River Heritage Corridor Commission, and we have a person, Annette Moss, who would like to give her on her report about the Rural Transportation Quarterly Report. So is Annette here? Sharon, she's not? Okay, I guess we don't have somebody give us that report. So, those reports will be on file in the Commissioner's office for public viewing if you want to. All right, fun part now, public comment. We ask you please stay within the 3-minute time zone and go from there.
My name is Kenny McClary, 942 Chepstow Lane, West Lafayette, Indiana. And I'm here representing the Tippecanoe County residents against utility scale solar. I would ask the other individuals behind me here who are here today, also that are part of this group, that is opposing now our first utility scale solar project, which has been submitted for review here in the county. The Rainbow Trout Solar Project was filed last Friday, as you are likely aware. Opposition for this project is growing across the county. We have now well over 700 Tippecanoe County residents from every zip code within the county, except for a couple of the municipal ones, who have signed on in opposition of this project. We urge you to come out and pay a visit to this location. I understand that may be a possible date this week, to see for yourselves why opposition is building against this project. We've brought some visuals with us today that show the approximately 200 homes that are within 0.25 miles of the boundary of this facility, including the middle and heart of all Montmorency residents. This is not a project that has been sited in the northern part of Shelby Township, where we have wide open fields and only a handful of residences. This project is being proposed in the heart of a small town, in a residential area ringed with all these nice properties, as well as across the road from the Purdue Wildlife Center, less than a quarter of a mile from Purdue Martell Forest. It is a quarter mile from the Ravines Golf Course and the park area there. It's less than a half a mile from Ross Hills Park, the RV park, and the campgrounds, which are utilized for recreational purposes. But don't take our word for it. Come see for yourself. Come see the property owners who will be surrounded on 3 or 4 sides in this project, by this project in its current form. We ask that you please consider that it is still not too late to take a more sensible approach and to hit the pause button here on utility scale solar, to give us time via temporary moratorium or other methods to understand the needs from an ordinance and zoning standpoint that such a large project that can stretch for over 3 miles takes on. Not only for the surrounding adjacent property owners, but also for county infrastructure, all the county roads that are going to be necessary to be used for a project of this scale, the environmental impacts, and all the other negative impacts that we believe this project will create. It's not too late to revise the financial instruments that are going to be necessary to ensure that the county, at the end of the day, is not stuck with a large financial commitment if this facility would happen to close without meeting its financial assurance agreements. Such a large-scale project will have significant decommissioning costs and considerations to have. It's not too late to pause and look at our ordinances to make the appropriate guardrails and revisions that protects the county, that protects residents, and protects the environment, and the existing property owners who are cooperating with this project. We believe their rights are also at risk with this project in its current form. We would ask now that you, we brought some materials with us today later on that you can take a look at just to see for yourselves where this is located and where this, we have several of the property owners and adjacent properties are here. We invite you to come out and visit. We also have another individual that has some other information about this large-scale solar project. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. I guess I forgot to announce, I didn't know if you signed in, Ken, or not.
Yes.
Thank you. Everybody, please sign in when speaking. Okay, any other public comment?
Morning. My name is Victor Gervais. I'm one of the affected residents. I spoke here last week and just wanted to have a couple more comments, and we hope that we could possibly meet, take a little more of your time away from after this meeting to do a little more details on it. But just a little background. I'm a civil engineer. I've been around for a couple of years, worked for the Army Corps of Engineers on locks and dams on the Illinois-Mississippi River for 31 years, in charge of construction, multi-million-dollar projects. I'm very familiar with construction, and that's kind of getting into the details of, you know, what it would take to build something like this. But after leaving there, I've been teaching construction engineering at Purdue for 17 years, so got a little bit of a background in this, and just looking at the physical aspects of what's going on. So wanted my voice to be heard. I wanted to introduce myself, a little bit of my background. I'm not just someone standing here just hoping. I don't know a lot about solar, but I know about hydropower. We built some hydropower plants on the Illinois River, and a hydropower plant is like a 95% efficient way to produce power. And this solar thing is, frankly, in my opinion, it's kind of a failed experiment. It's very, very poor efficiency. And so we not only have objections to where it's going to go, but even to the efficiency of it. And I think that should be a concern, because, you know, what are we doing here, and what is the value of it? And certainly what is the value to us as residents and as a county. And Kenny mentioned that we had however many homes, 200 homes within 0.25 miles. My home is within 50 feet of where this thing is going to be built. So I have to look out. If this goes, I have to look out my front door, front window of my house, and see that this utility scale project. It's not like somebody putting some solar panels on top of a barn or something like that. So, I mean, you understand that, but this is more for, perhaps for the audience here. So I wanted to mention that. So what we've had to do as a group, unfortunately, it's nice. We've got to know a lot of our neighbors that we didn't know before, but now we're meeting everybody. We're getting together, and we formed this association that Kenny just mentioned. And you don't just form the association. We had to hire an attorney to work with us, and I'll just throw the number out there. It's costing us $15,000 to get some legal representation to present the proper documentation to you and to the BZA, and, you know, whatever we need. So, and that $15,000 is probably just the start of it. So us folks just sitting there living our lives, all of a sudden we've got all of this stuff going on. Our lives have changed. This is our major concentration, and we know that there's time sequencing and things here, and it's costing us money, and we don't even know what the end of the money is that we're going to have to spend. So that's money will be well spent doing anything other than this. So I just wanted to put that on the record here. So I met with Commissioner Murtaugh about a week ago. We had a very nice visit. He had a few minutes to give me just before he had to run over to the YMCA and keep himself in shape over there. So, and he looks good. So I appreciate his time, and we had a nice talk. And perhaps we can, you know, get into a little more details on that.
That's the 3 minutes. If you could
Is that
just
my
sort of
time?
wrap it up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just the last thing, and excuse me, is just one point that you commissioners are in a position, and your responsibilities are to protect the county, the prime farmland, and also the residents. And we need to look at both of those, as we see with a project like this, which frankly, I guess no one envisioned or would have already been covered with the ordinances. So thank you for that. I'll sign it.
Thank you. That pen's got legs on it, doesn't it, Stu? It's jumping.
It's been on the floor, 3 times now?
Right.
Could you feel it?
Good morning. If our IT personnel could switch the screens to the video. We have a short video we'd like to present. My name is Doug Highland, and I live at Southworth Branch. It's going to be quite close to the solar installation. We've been concerned about the impact of opening the door to converting Tippecanoe County farmland to large-scale utility solar facilities. Trying to understand both the value and the impact of such an installation, we did some research. The following short video represents our findings. It is very succinct. We appreciate it if you could let us show that to you.
Thank you, Doug.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Seeing none, that final motion?
I move we adjourn.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.